50 Seconds with the gorgeous Hannah Warner. We're here in Hackney in her studio. So Hannah, tell me a bit about your jewellery. As a jewellery designer, you studied in London first.
Yeah, in London Metropolitan, just down the road.
And then you moved to New York to study gemology.
Yeah.
But what made you want to go down there?
Partly I wanted to go and live somewhere else for a bit. I've always wanted to go to New York, and I heard that it was very good. I knew some people there, and I heard it was going to be good for my networking and things like that. Also, the gemology part of it, I'd already studied like designing, making. So for me, naturally, the next progression was to learn about stones, because I wanted to bring them. Like, I haven't brought them so much into my designs, but that is something I wanted to learn about, another aspect of it. So I knew about the stones, the metals, the making,
kind of
designing.
Makes you like more well-read and like.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's good. And then that's when where I set up my label in the end, and ended up, it was a 6-month course, but I just moved back last year, so I ended up being there for 3 years, so it's good.
Amazing. And your collections so far have covered so many different bases, quite like worldly bases almost. You've done Egypt, you've done corals at sea, done tribes, and what else?
Skull and bones.
Skull and bones.
Yeah.
So you've covered quite a lot of these kind of like earthly, quite natural kind of sources. What's next for Hannah Warner Jewellery? Where do you plan to take your collections next?
Well, like from like all those titles that you just like mentioned, you can tell that I love travelling and I love different cultures, and I get really inspired by different surroundings when I go. And I've always travelled since I was little with my family, since I left school. So that's always been, my surroundings has always been a huge inspiration to me. So my next collection is actually based on architecture, because I spent the most of this year in the city, so it's just drawn from all the different types of architecture and different eras and genres and stuff around in London. So yeah, and I'm actually bringing quite a lot more stones into this collection as well. So that's going to be about the jewellery? Yeah, the jewellery, yeah. And have you got any other projects coming up? I know. Well, I'm also doing a collection of jackets with my friend Jamie Strachan in New York. That's been quite an ongoing thing for quite a while, but we've got samples back now. We're doing biker and bomber jackets, and we're using animal skins such as alligator bellies and the spikes of the alligators and stingray skins to do like a collection of I think it's going to be about 8 different styles of jackets.
Right.
And hopefully that will be out in February, we're thinking. We've just got the samples back now, so.
And where do you think those jackets would be, like, what ideally would you want them to be stocked, like all the big stuff?
Yeah, I think
and maybe like Selfridges.
Yeah, it's going to be a small line to start off with. Jamie's got quite a lot of contacts in New York and things, and they're going to be high-end. They're going to be quite high-end, basically. So, but my first kind of take on clothing. So, we'll just see where it takes us, really.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you said you're inspired by your surroundings, and you kind of take influence from them. But have you often travelled to other countries to kind of get your inspiration?
That's something I want to do. I thought that maybe I could do a thing where I have, I'd say, a Brazilian collection, and I'm going to Brazil in March, so I'm hoping to kind of coincide that with. I'm always looking out things, and I always have a sketchbook, so I have a book full of like different collections that I could do from any kind of area. So, yeah, definitely. I travel a lot, and it has become part of a natural thing of just documenting things in different locations anyway. So, yeah.
That's good. And looking around me right now, there are so many nails scattered on the floor, and this is to do with your collaboration with the makeup artist Holly
Silas, yeah.
Silas.
We started that. We didn't realise, me and Holly started talking about this when I was still living in New York. I asked her I wanted to do some metal teardrop for someone, and I wanted to talk to her because she was a makeup artist. She knew like all the boundaries of applying things to the face and things, and kind of got quite complicated, as you can imagine. Having something metal on your eyes got a lot of health and safety issues. So we just started talking, and then within one meeting we decided, actually, let's do something together, and let's try and make nails, as you know, like wire nails, everything is just huge now.
It's such a huge trend at the moment, like it really blew up this year in such a big way.
Yeah, and we didn't really even mean to like tap into it, we just decided it'd be really cool to, I mean, I love metal and I love to be able to adorn the body in any way you can in metal. So we just kind of came up with these ideas, and she made some back in London, I was doing some in New York, and then when we came back, we just started making them together, and it just took off really fast, and we launched in March, and we did like a catwalk show for Thierry Mugler with Nicola Formanchetti in February, and then we've just done our first like sales in Paris for Paris Fashion Week in September, which went really well. So working on the new collection at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah, that's really good. And who comes up with the designs? I mean, do you guys both collaborate with all the design routines? Like, whose role is what when it comes to collaborating on a nail project?
It's been like we've either designed things together, or one's designed something or someone else has designed something. It's very mutual in the design aspect for the ideas, and then it was really my kind of knowledge of making and metals that we could create them, and Holly's now learned a lot about it as well. And then Holly's obviously used to work in prosthetics, I think that's how you say it, and she knows how to apply things to the body, and she's constantly working on shoots. She knows sizes of fingers, so she's tackled all that thing. So it's actually been like such a good little duo.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much. We've learned everything about music. And thank you for watching 50 Seconds.